Oh, this is the podcast studios brought to you by Machine Inc. Welcome, everybody.
Vincent,
Jono, how are you?
great. How you doing?
Good, man. How are you? It's great to see you.
Good. It's been a long time, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like it though.
No.
How long has it been?
It's been just a couple months. It's not as long as we think. I feel like it's typical, like Italian people, the time that they see each other feels like every time you say, oh, it's been so long. It's probably really only been about a month.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Everyone's so close too.
Yeah,
It's nice living in a small little area.
it is. It's great.
So you told me you turned this on. What is this?
Oh, so this thing is it's called a plod note.
Plod?
Plod with a P.
Okay.
Don't ask me to spell the rest.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
It's an AI device. Basically, it's just recording right now, just like you're recording me.
yeah.
That's recording both of us.
Okay.
And when it's done, it's going to load up into my phone and it's going to transcribe it and summarize it and basically give me a very easy summary to go over on what we talked about, everything. And it's searchable. I could ask it questions about this interaction. So it's a pretty cool device.
And it knows you and knows me. It'll say like,
It's going to know that there's two people talking.
okay.
And then when it's done, it'll say name speaker 1, name speaker 2.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
What do you use that for mostly?
Well, I'm a
Desi-
jeweler. I'm a designer. So, and I basically, all my sales are done via appointment. You come in, we have a consultation, you tell me what you want.
Yeah.
And usually I take notes. I take lots of notes, either on my computer, I have a tablet, or I just write them down. And most of the time I end up writing them down.
Yeah.
Sometimes I lose that piece of paper and I forget. This just guarantees me I'm not going to forget anything. Technically, if I fully utilize this, I won't have to write anything down or take any notes. I still do, but this has been a game changer. I probably sold 3 rings. This is brand new. I just got it recently.
Interesting.
Yeah, I've only had 3 appointments with it, but for one of them, I already forgot his ring size, and this came into pretty handy.
It's right there. You could search it. So you could just search like ring size.
What's
and
the
you can
man's
find
ring
it.
size?
No kidding.
That's it.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Is it expensive?
we're on TikTok.
Okay.
So yeah, it was like $160.
I hope you're on TikTok in about a few weeks with this. We'll see.
Oh yeah, I hope so too.
Yeah, me too. That's not bad at all.
No, not at all.
Dude, AI is like, that's another level.
It's a game changer.
I mean, you're a jeweler, but like
It-
some doctors are on here. I'm like, imagine if you're a doctor, how much time you get back.
Oh,
You probably
lots.
save, and then you get to spend time with the customer,
Yeah,
right? You
Well,
know,
yeah,
you're not sitting there.
I'm
oh,
more focused and I'm able to ask more questions, and I don't have to think about. Oh, hold on, let me write that down. Let me check my notes. Yeah, more quality time with the customer.
Yeah.
Yeah, better spent.
Yeah. And then you probably, there's less miscommunication.
Much less because it's transcribing exactly what we say. It's not making anything up.
Right. That's really cool. Say it again. What's the company? What's the name?
Plod.
Plod.
Plod. Yes.
That's nice. So that's a game changer for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. So you're a designer and a
Yes.
jeweler.
Jewelry designer. If you want to put those two together.
Okay. Jewelry designer.
Yes.
You're also a geologist?
Gemologist.
Gemologist.
Geologist is quite above my pay grade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, gemologist. I graduated from the Gemological Institute of America. You guys, if you bought an engagement ring, you probably know what the GIA is. It's the
Okay.
certificate that your diamond comes with. It's
Okay.
actually a school. So if you're in diamonds and gemstone industry, it's likely that you get the degree through them. It's like a post grad degree.
Okay. And then you're able to grade?
Yes, I'm able to identify diamonds, gemstones, pearls.
Oh, cool. So you're certified.
Certified.
You say that-
Graduate gemologist is the title.
That's cool. So after school, then you went and got that?
After college, actually.
What
So I did post college
what degree did you get in college?
communications
Oh, so you're
like this. Yeah,
yeah, you're ready to go.
yeah.
What's your favorite thing to work with? Like, what do you prefer?
Material wise,
Yeah,
platinum.
platinum.
Yeah,
Why?
because it's the best material. Superior, lasts the longest, doesn't chip away like gold does. and it's once you're good at working with it, it's actually probably the best material to work with. I mean, gold is not that much harder, but it's just platinum is just that much better.
It's better.
Yeah,
I know gold is soft.
it's soft if you buy 24 karat,
Okay.
which jewelry doesn't typically come in unless you're overseas.
What do you find over here?
14 karat is the standard in the States, but in Europe, 18 karat's a standard. So I
Okay.
saw a lot of 18 karat, even though gold, I don't know if you notice, gold's at an all-time high right now. It keeps going at an all-time high, but we just hit $3,400 an ounce.
Okay.
And we were talking a year ago, we were at in the 2000s, about $2,300 an ounce.
Wow.
Yeah, last September we hit 2,500, and I thought it wasn't going any higher than that.
And it's still climbing.
It is still climbing.
What's the highest you've seen it?
This is it.
This is the highest
Yeah,
you've seen it?
every day is just the highest.
It's never been this high before?
Never.
Wow. So what does that mean?
Well, that means there's a lot of crazy things happening in the world right now.
The economy? Is
Yeah.
it inflation, you think?
And I wouldn't really say it's inflation, but you know what? I shouldn't say that. Yes, it should, because it requires more dollars to purchase gold. So it's not always necessarily that the gold is more valuable. It is the
Right.
dollar is less valuable. So
Right.
yes, so which is essentially inflation.
Interesting. That's a big number. I saw something about groceries being like 400% more than they were before COVID in some TikTok.
Okay.
I wouldn't give it as much credibility as
If it
this.
was on TikTok, it was probably true.
Yeah, I mean, that's that's how it goes. So you're able to grade,
Yes.
and let me ask you this
Mhm.
about, so I had to do some shopping because I've been married for a little bit now,
All right.
and I was under the impression, this is just my biased,
Okay.
that like if you're gonna buy a diamond that's 1 carat, the goal is to get a diamond that's very close to a carat after it's cut, which is part of maybe the art of it, because it has to be larger than a carat before you trim it.
Oh, you're talking about the rough.
Yes.
Yes, it has to be larger.
And then like if you get a diamond that's, let's say it's like 1.1 carats, that's less desirable than something that's 1.0 carats, or does it not
No,
really matter?
That doesn't. No, it's not necessarily. Sometimes, like a 1.01 is actually very, like 1.01, 1.03. You see that all the time.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with it. It's just that you maximize the rough.
Okay.
That's really it. There are some off cuts typically, but the weight of the stone doesn't really affect like how brilliant it is.
It's how it's cut.
Yeah,
What's the factors that?
Well, the round diamond is the only diamond that has cut on the actual grading report. So it goes from excellent, very good, good, fair, poor.
Okay.
I typically, you don't want a round diamond that's not excellent cut.
What do you mean round diamond?
A round diamond, a circle.
The top is a circle?
Yeah, like a round diamond. It's a circle.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there's a bunch of shapes, like 12 core shapes, round, princess, which is the square shape, oval, cushion. A round diamond. So a round diamond is the most classic.
Yeah.
Regular
that's like
round.
okay.
Yeah, it's
I
like
got you.
standard, the standard round diamond. So that's the only, like if you're buying a round diamond, that's the only one that has a cut grade on there.
Okay.
So that's the only, like that's assigned a grade. So you typically want the excellent cut because the whole point of a diamond is how much it sparkles and shines.
Yes.
Anything under excellent, you're losing sparkle and shine.
Yes.
And then everything else you have to weigh into different factors. But like I just sold a 1.3 carat round and it was rated an excellent. So and it was fire. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sparkles a lot.
Yes.
You say it's round, but it's not, right? There's a certain amount of sides. No?
What do you mean? Like facets?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or cleave?
So-
Does it cleave? How do you say it?
It's facets.
Okay,
They're facets.
facets.
Yeah. So I mean, okay. When we talk about shape, we're talking top down. Like when
Okay.
we look at it from the top down, it's a
Yes.
circle. Like that's just how we identify them. But yeah, then
Okay.
if you look at the profile shape, it's
Yeah.
it's a shield shape.
Yes.
And it's but all the diamonds are essentially that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we could get into all that, but then that's boring.
Yeah. I'm interested in what makes it brilliant, because I know the diamond that my wife has, it really is like bright.
Yeah.
Like I notice it. And I don't notice everyone's diamonds. And a lot of people say to us all the time, like, oh, wow, it's like a really nice diamond. And I thought it was because it's like really close to 1 carat. And I think it's cut well. But what makes one diamond better cut than the other? Like, how do you differentiate?
That's actually an excellent question because it's a round diamond typically has the facets. There's about 58 of them, and that is called a brilliant cut. So
Okay.
all those pavilions facets,
Yes.
the top of the stone, the very top surface is called the table. Then the angle around is called the crown. And then
Okay.
the flat part on the side is called the girdle. I could show you all this. And
Yeah.
then the underneath part is called the pavilion.
Okay.
All those have to be cut perfectly for light to when light goes in the diamond, it has to come back out the top.
Okay.
One thing about diamonds is that diamonds really they're singly refractive, so it doesn't really split the light into a prism.
Okay.
So when it gets in a stone. So
it's like a mirror in the stone.
essentially, instead of reflecting, it's refracting.
Okay.
So when the light comes in from the top, it bounces around the inside, but it escapes only through the top and not through the bottom.
Okay.
That's what gives the diamond brilliance. That's called scintillation.
Oh, cool. That's a good word.
Yeah.
Scintillation.
Scintillation.
Okay.
Higher scintillated stones are just more sparkly.
Is there anything that's mechanical that would grade the scintillation? Or is it just...
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. There's a machine. I've never actually seen it. It's called a gem print.
Okay.
And a few of my diamond vendors are actually using it for every stone, natural and lab grown. You put a round diamond in there, and it'll basically not only measure how much light return it has, so it'll say like excellent, which is the highest light return, very good, and it's graded like a cut grade.
Okay.
So every diamond has a unique light pattern that it refracts. So the gem print is a fingerprint for the diamond, but also the amount that it tells you the amount that it refracts light out the top.
Oh, that's awesome. That's science.
Yeah, so it's science.
They
Not
got-
many people care about it that much because they just see the stone. That's it. It's sparkly.
No, I was very interested to know. The gentleman that I bought it from, I drew my wife's ring.
Oh, I
and
love that.
And he made it. And after he saw the drawing, then he took me and he was like, look at these diamonds. And he had like a hand. And he's like, he was trying to tell me why. And he's like, you should be able to tell the difference if you know how to draw or whatever. And then he was like holding them up to the light. And you could totally see some, like they just glow.
Yep.
And other ones, they're nice, but they don't perform, if you want to call it that, the same as the ones that were excellent. And I never understood really why or how. So that's kind of why I could.
Curious, do you have did your diamond come with a grading report?
Yes. Yeah. I'll have to check.
Send it to me and I'll tell you exactly why it sparkles so much.
Okay. I will. Yeah. I'm interested to know. No, that's cool. So do you make sure that you get a digital, like a mechanical grade, or is it something that you could kind of, when you look at it?
Well, I know when I look at it, the gem print is more of like an extra marketing. It's just more consumer confidence.
Okay.
That's essentially what it is. And you also get a discount on your insurance if you have one of those. Real small one, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah, because it shows it's legitimate.
It shows exactly what it is.
Are all diamonds certified GIA? Do they have to be?
Not at all. GIA is just the standard. It's the most expensive cert.
Okay.
But they have the strictest guidelines.
Okay.
Like all natural ones that I typically deal with are GIA certified. There are several other labs. There's EGL, which is the European Gemological Laboratories. I don't really get a lot of those stones anymore because they had a whole bunch of crazy lawsuits for overgrading stones over the years.
Oh, okay.
So, and I was a victim of it once. I bought a stone that they said was a certain color. I opened up the thing and it was awful. It was not that color, and I sent it back to them. I was so aggravated.
Yeah.
But yeah, GIA is the standard. With lab growns, no, GIA is not really the standard. IGI is, which is the International Gemological Institute. The reason is they're cheaper to get certified there than it is at GIA.
Okay, so they'll just charge you less.
Yeah,
Right?
IGI charges about $60 a stone, essentially.
And lab grown stones, is that like a big thing?
Yeah, they took over.
Really?
Yeah.
All stones? I know somebody, they do liquidation, and there was a big company, and he was like, they grow, they had this kiln, I don't know what you call it, and they
grow.
sapphire.
Okay, yeah. Oh, so you
And
got
I
to
was
understand,
like,
it's been around for a long time. It's been around since the 50s.
how the hell do you grow sapphire?
Well, so we know how they're made in the earth. You know, pressure and different elements fusing together. Essentially, the big oven that they make recreates that pressure and the heat.
Okay.
And then they throw a little seed of whatever the element of the element it is. If it's a sapphire, they'll throw a sapphire seed in there. Don't ask me what a sapphire seed is. I've never seen one. But it grows a real sapphire. It's a real stone, like a lab grown, but it's a real one, like a lab grown diamond. It's a real lab grown diamond, but it's made by man instead of the earth.
Is there technically any real difference?
No, they're the exact same. They are chemically, optically identical. So, like I said, it's real. It's just they're abundant. They're not rare.
Right, because they're being made.
Yeah.
I know the sapphires weren't being made for jewelry. They were being made for like equipment. I can't imagine.
So all the U.S. Growers of all diamonds and gemstones converted to industrial because they can't compete with the prices overseas.
Okay.
Yeah, so like the Beers had a whole lab-grown facility here in the States. I don't remember if it was in New Mexico or Arizona. They just last year converted it to strictly industrial use instead of growing diamonds for jewelry.
So it's used for manufacturing?
Yeah,
in products?
Yes. Imagine like those saw blades, diamond-coated saw blades.
Oh, yeah.
Those are lab-grown diamonds.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you can't be spending no $4,000 on a saw blade.
Well, that's why lab-grown diamonds have been around for so long. They've been around since the 50s.
Okay.
It's just that the process has become so streamlined and inexpensive to do it. Now they're mainstream.
Okay.
And they're a lot cheaper.
So, like, is there a reason? Obviously, people still want something that's not lab-grown, I would imagine, or do they not really care or know the difference? Or
Well, right now, my personal thing, for every 20 lab-grown I sell, one person comes in for a natural.
That would be me.
Yeah.
I didn't,
Like,
but I don't know why.
Yeah, no, yeah, and that's fine, and I'm a natural fan too. But I can't argue with the logic.
Yeah,
There's no, because it's not an investment. You don't make money. You're going to lose money from buying a diamond. Yeah, you could sell it back. Whereas the lab grown, you spend $1,000 on it, you get a 2-carat stone. You're never going to sell it, but you're not down 20 grand.
yeah, and they still perform on that test the same. You think?
No, they do. They're diamonds.
They do.
Yeah, so
They have the same brilliance.
Yeah, better, more.
Really?
Yeah, so lab grown diamonds have been perfected.
So there's no inclusions.
So much so, no, there's never been inclusions. I mean, there has been. I never bought a stone that had them, but lab growns have improved so much. GIA actually just last week changed not last week, 2 weeks ago, changed the standards for grading them.
Okay.
Because they are accepted as diamonds and as a luxury product. So, but 95% of the stones that are produced are DEF, so basically highest color and all virtually flawless.
What is DEF?
Oh, D color, E color, F color, so colorless.
Okay.
So the highest color you could have is a D. So lab growns are no longer going to be giving the same grades because it's just not fair because they're all up there. They're all up really high. So they're only going to be considered premium or standard.
Oh, so they're going to split it.
Yeah. And it's better for you, for the consumer, because it's just going to standardize the pricing a lot more.
Interesting. So then what happens with natural diamonds? There's like no more blood diamonds.
Well,
No
there's
one's
never
dying
been, you guys would never buy a blood diamond. They're just not going to make it to you. Yeah.
No.
That's a lot of people's words. I don't want a blood diamond, or they think lab diamonds are more ethical, or they're more green.
Okay.
Everything is the opposite. Natural diamonds are the more green option, and they are the more ethical option, because the diamond that if you buy a natural diamond, the one you're buying is either from Botswana, which, like, the diamond industry there pays for everything. They get free healthcare, free schooling. That's like the biggest jobs, very high paying jobs. It's the highest, one of the healthiest countries in Africa. Or you get a Canadian diamond, so you know exactly where these diamonds are coming from. You're supporting a lot, and it's a lot less effect on the earth. Whereas lab grown diamonds, it's it's for per 1 carat to produce a 1 carat lab diamond, it's 17 or 20 times more energy output for lab diamonds than it is for natural diamonds.
They're taking that carbon footprint
Yeah, and
and smashing
it's a bigger much bigger carbon footprint.
Is diamond is just carbon, right?
Yeah, it's crystallized carbon.
Just very high pressure.
Exactly. High heat and high pressure.
Makes things beautiful.
Yeah. But that's the beauty of natural diamonds, is that you have no control of what's coming out.
Yeah.
So like you just have to make it beautiful. Lab diamonds, they're perfect.
How does that change your industry, kind of? Because doesn't it, like being a designer and a jeweler, it kind of like, doesn't it kind of put like a cookie cutter and just say, hey, this is what everybody needs or something?
The great thing about lab diamonds, it's allowed me to be more bold with designs, take more risk, because it's less of a monetary hit. Like, so I could make a design that I think is going to be great.
Yeah.
So I'll use lab diamonds to do it. It's going to look more beautiful than the natural version. I could afford to do it with the lab stones. Where naturals, I don't take the risk because no one will buy it if no one likes it.
Right. Yeah. And you're talking what, 5x the cost?
Oh, more than that.
6x?
More.
7x? Depends on the diamond, I guess. But
so here's a go. I have a 1 carat DVVS1 lab grown.
Okay.
I have it retailing at $625.
Okay.
If that was a natural stone, that would be $12,000.
Wow.
A DVVS, specifically excellent cut, ideal.
So was that 20x?
Yeah, it could be 10 to 20.
Yeah.
10 to 20. It depends on where you buy from. The internet actually is the most expensive place to buy them right now.
It's sight unseen.
Yep.
That's kind of interesting. Kind of cool. So yeah, well, let me ask you, what's outside of diamonds, what type of stones are like desired? Like, what do people look for?
So because lab diamonds have, I feel, plateaued and peaked, gemstones are starting to come in. And I'm actually very excited about that because I like working with color more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very few and far between people come in for the colored stones. And from what I see, a lot of people that do go with colored center stones, they're buying them on Etsy.
Okay.
I have a lot of loose center stones, emeralds, rubies, sapphires, and I really like making rings. So I actually have a few rings that I just make for stock, classic like looking rings, because I want to promote more colored stones.
Are they expensive? Are they like?
They're cheaper than diamonds for sure. There's all different grades of them. It's the same. It's actually harder to buy gemstones because certain rubies are much more expensive than diamonds.
Okay.
The same with sapphires.
So they're up there. What about emeralds?
Emerald, well, yeah.
I know those are.
Depends on their origin, but yes.
So you mix the emeralds and the sapphire with the diamonds, you make the Italian flag.
Oh, well, yeah, good.
It's happy.
The Italian flag ring.
Yeah,
I have. Yeah,
do you have one?
Oh,
of course.
sell that once a month probably.
Do you? I gotta see it.
So the Italian flag ring is like, it's before my time. So we have, when we make jewelry, we make molds and we just inject the gold into the mold. Okay. And I have the mold at my store of the flag ring. The thing's older than me, but we still use it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I gotta see that.
Yeah.
I figure,
Yeah, but now I make it by my 3D printer. It's much easier.
You 3D print rings?
Mm-hmm. Well, not directly to the metal. I 3D print the wax.
And then you cast.
Correct.
Okay. Do you have to tool the wax at all to smooth it out, or is it pretty on point?
The wax is pretty perfect. These 3D printers are perfect.
So anything, do you design on digital?
Yeah, it's all designed on CAD. You
design in CAD?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm not as good of a drawer as you. I have a whole sketchbook and I'm just not that good at drawing.
No, you got to be good at drawing to do anything in CAD or 3D software. I'm sure you're great.
Well, I'm good in the 3D software. I have a lot of experience in it. So
I got a question. So my wife's ring was a braid. Now it's like a aesthetic of a braid. It's not, let's say, 4 or 3 strands of gold rolled out.
It usually isn't.
I know that. How hard would it be to actually weave?
It wouldn't be. You just wouldn't set stones in it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's called wire wrapping.
Okay.
But if you wanted it thick
yeah.
like that, that would be pretty heavy to do. You'd have to heat it up a lot.
Okay.
But it would actually, what am I saying? Like that's, even if you did do that, it would still look exactly the same because they would be fused together.
Okay. So
You wouldn't even know if they were actually braided.
separated at one point.
Yeah. Unless you did just traditional wire wrapping.
So you could print
Yep.
and you can make. So if I wanted Mickey all gold, you could do that.
I've done it.
Diamonds.
Yeah, stupid people want that stuff, but yes, I've done it before. I just
I've been
can't call it
called-
Mickey. I have to call it the mouse because you get in big trouble.
Oh, I've been called stupid before. I'm okay with.
You
that.
want to wear one of those? By all means, I'm going to make it for you then.
No, but so you can do big stuff. Like if someone wanted like a bezel
Mhm.
or something like
Yeah,
that.
different machine. Wouldn't be 3D printed. It would be milled.
Okay.
Yeah, you would need a bigger machine. A 3D. There is 3D printers that print that big. We would do it in parts because casting also. Because the
Okay.
cast, we do it in parts. But that for the big pendants like that, instead of 3D printing, we have CNC machines that mill the wax,
Yes.
and that's more preferred for the big stuff.
So you can make big stuff.
Oh yeah,
I want to make a couple things.
whatever you want.
I'm gonna
Draw it out.
I'm gonna draw it for you.
Yeah,
They're gonna be not what you think.
I don't care.
They're gonna be the opposite of what you think. I don't know how much they would cost, but I've been thinking about it. I want to do something just for fun
Okay.
in the future.
Okay.
So, how long you been a geologist?
Gemologist.
Gemologist? In my mind, you're always a geologist. You know a lot about stones.
What year was it? 2010.
Okay,
So 15 years now.
15 years.
And then started doing CAD design a year after, so 14 years on that.
You've been in CAD. Do you do any AI with the CAD? Is that working its
Very
way in?
new. Yeah, I'm personally not like pioneering any of it, but I am closely following a couple guys that are doing it. Doing like making pictures and design, like prototype designs and pictures. That's like well established. Very easy to do. You could do that on any of the platforms.
What do you
And-
mean pictures?
Like if I went on Gemini and wanted to do it, if I put it in a very descriptive description of an engagement ring design,
Okay.
it'll come up some pretty realistic and feasible.
Oh, like text to image.
Yeah, prompt to text to image. But
Oh.
now we're working and video. I've done videos. I'm sure you've seen some of the silly things I posted of AI videos.
Yeah.
There are the guys that are working on it. They did come up with a new platform for AI and jewelry, and now the next step is trying to make it into 3D models. That's the hard part, and we haven't gotten that far. I don't, not me.
Yeah. I know there's some stuff out. I don't know much about it, but I've seen some things where it's like draw a 2D image and like you can make like a Mickey like this. Like you could upload the cartoon
Oh,
and then it'll give him in 3D. Like
Oh, yeah.
immediate- There's like a lot of patching software, but it's not necessarily like
but it will make a 3D animation.
it'll make a 3D model.
Oh, model.
Yeah,
Okay.
3D and then you can animate the model.
Okay.
I mean, that's not I know it exists because I have a phone. You know what I mean? I'm not like versed in any of it, but the text to imaging is pretty cool. And then imaging to 3D and then 3D to like animation, which is like reference video.
Yep.
That's like all out there.
Yeah, it's all available now.
You're like a cartoon loving kind of guy, right? Like you
Yes.
like Pixar.
Yes.
Like, I'm like imagining in like 5 years, it'll be like you watch yourself in the movie and they're going to tell you to like do a couple things before the movie starts,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
It can't be that far off.
No, I feel like it's so close because how like I'm just like flabbergasted how good what it is right now.
Yeah.
Have you tried that Gemini, that Google Veo VO3? They make those movies.
No.
I've been messing with it. It's incredible.
What is it?
So VEO 3 from Gemini. It's wild. Everything. It's realistic movies with sound.
Is it free?
No, the full version is $250 a month, but I have Google One for work, so
Okay.
that's $20 a month. So I have the small version of this. No, it's Gemini. Don't do this one.
This is not Gemini.
Just go straight to Gemini.
Am I missing something?
What'd you type in?
Gemini. This here?
Yeah.
I
You
did
just
some
gotta
like
log in.
I did some free stuff, and it was very like lackluster, and I didn't want to
Well,
put in.
it's incredible now. Just to give you, show you on the camera.
Yeah.
Let's see what kind of videos I made.
Some of them you posted.
Yeah, I post all of them.
I didn't see. I see you like as
Iron Man.
Yeah,
That's an
that-
AI video.
That's what I see a lot of when I see you.
Yeah, I posted this for Father's Day. It's got sound. Hold on.
Happy Father's Day.
That's just all from a prompt. Yeah, it's real.
Oh wow. Yeah, well, I think I would have to keep talking. Let's see. All right, if I keep talking and you put it in front of that camera, let's see what it does.
That's a prompt.
Yeah.
That's just the prompt.
Yeah.
So my version, I could do 8-second videos with sound, but the full version, you could do 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Yeah. People are making big money doing it. It's expensive to do, but they're
Yeah.
making crazy videos put them on TikTok, Instagram, and they're making money doing it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking would be like a lot of fun.
It is.
It's like, do you want to invest like, what is it? Like you got to invest like a couple grand to actually get the minutes you want out.
Well, I don't know. I just know it's $250 a month.
There was something I was looking at, is it InVideo? You ever tried that one?
No, I haven't.
It's like a few, and I got to try this one. I got to see what it's like.
Yeah, you'll have fun with it.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's like, have you done, what type of, use ChatGPT a lot?
All the time.
You ever use is it DALL-E 3? I use the image generator
Oh,
a
yeah,
lot.
yeah.
So I got a hold of that like a year ago, and I was like playing with it, and it was like, you know, if you have an idea, you just tell it, and it gives you such a great result. I was like, oh my God, like I felt like I was doing something illegal. I was like, what? I was like, should I do this? I was like, is this okay? And it's like, I could get like that, like a nice graphic. Like I made some stuff for people I know just for fun, like, oh, like Santa holding their company's like
Yep.
information, like, and it's like in a second.
Yep.
Where like, I mean, I went to school for a lot of stuff to like make that, even using stock imagery and doing stuff. You know, you're talking a few hours.
Yep.
You know, and this was like, 6 seconds, and while the thing pixelates, it's like, it's pretty awesome.
Have you ever made your own invitation for your kid's birthday or something?
Yeah.
And it was a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Right.
Just put all the info in ChatGPT and say, make me a kid's birthday card. Done.
Yeah.
Like that's how good and it was like a legit kid's birthday card.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And it's like right to print.
Yeah.
It's like
and
good
then,
to
yeah,
go.
right there, go print. And we did.
You did
Yep.
use it?
It worked. Yep.
It's a time saver
Yeah.
for sure.
What's really cool in specifically ChatGPT, you could it sounds like really hard to do, but it's not. You can make custom GPTs. So you could say, hey, I'm this, you are going to act like this person. You get very specific. So like I have one for my store that's me. It's basically me.
Mm-hmm.
That generates either SEO friendly product descriptions or SEO friendly Instagram posts and captions and TikTok captions. And so
Okay.
instead of like going and telling it pre-doing the prompt, saying like telling it every time you're this person, now I have someone that is already me, and I just go, hey, make this for me, done. So I use it every day.
So you've been using it.
Yes.
So it's learned.
Yes, it learns more and more.
Oh, wow. So then you really are kind of creating. You know what I was thinking was like inevitably, like you can, like someone like Angelina Jolie or like a big star, like you copyright their likeness in 3D, and then you can.
That's happening.
Right.
Yeah,
It has to be.
Mm-hmm. They're literally hustling celebrities to do that because that's already, you could do that.
Yeah.
Like I could copy your voice,
Yep.
Right now, there's a free app. You could copy your voice, and then I could talk in this microphone, and I'm Jono.
Yeah.
You would be very convinced that I'm you.
Right. It would just be my voice.
Yeah,
and
and
you
then
could probably do the deep
Throw
fake.
it, yeah. Then throw the AI deepfake on it, because that's all consumer level stuff now. That's not even
Right.
You know, people like not smart people not just smart people can
Right.
do it.
Like Aphex Twin, he was one of the. Do you know who that is?
No.
It's like this techno musician from I forget which country, but he was doing this really bizarre stuff like 15, maybe even 20 years ago. How old am I? But it was like where people's faces were other people's faces and doing all this stuff.
I think I know what that is. Yeah,
And he was
a
like,
little trippy.
yeah, it was like when everyone was like, "Oh, that's CGI." And you're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
How do you do that? You know,
AI is the new CGI.
yeah,
It's
like,
just way more convincing.
yeah, and like instant. It's pretty.
And how fast it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now then they got these quantum computers that
Yep.
are gonna they're like, how do you know how much faster a quantum computer is?
So
Let's look it up.
I can't. I've heard the number. I just can't like fathom it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, there's a lot of numbers I can't fathom.
It's like because like qubits, it divides the qubits in two. Even though we thought that was impossible, like
Yeah.
the qubits go instead of going 1 and 0, it does both 1 and 0. So that's just such an astronomically higher number because it compounds.
Yes,
That's how much way faster.
That's exactly what this. Unlike classical bits, which can only
0 or
be
1.
which are matrices, quantum computers leverage the principle of superposition, where qubits can exist in multiple states simultaneously. This allows them to explore a vast number of possibilities concurrently. Give me a number. How many years? Google has demonstrated a quantum computer that could complete a calculation in minutes that a supercomputer would take 10,000 years.
Yeah, so imagine a supercomputer still has to do every equation one at a time. How fast a supercomputer could do it,
Right.
whereas a quantum computer can do almost all of it at once.
Simultaneously.
Yeah, because it's not just going 0 and 1. It is the 0 and 1, and that's the part I always get lost on.
So, 0 and 1 is like a matrices, right? That's
Yep.
like the matrix. It's either open and closed.
Yep, that's
Electrical current.
yeah.
That's basic.
Right.
And then how does something exist in like a superposition?
Yep,
What does that mean?
that's
like-
where I'm lost.
Yeah, that's the quantum. We need to talk. We
The
need to
fact
talk
that
to
that's
some
real,
scientists.
yeah, I got to talk like that to me is not real. Like that sounds like something in a Marvel movie. Oh, we found a superposition. We found the quantum bits the 0 and 1s existing in the same spot. Thanks, Ant-Man. You know, that's what it sounds like to me. But
Yeah.
that's real. You know, that's real and it exists.
That's a computer.
Yep.
There's this idea that humanity and what we're doing is we're going to try to be able to download consciousness. And the thought is if it could compute, let's say like a computer like that has that type of power, computing power. If it could compute, let's say 100 years in a minute, then upon the last minute of your death, they will somehow download the consciousness and you'll be able to experience 100 more years of life in a shorter amount of time. I don't know. This is
In a shorter amount of time.
in a shorter amount of time. Well,
I would think because we still don't even understand. We can't even define consciousness. So hopefully the quantum computer could at least get us to that point where we understand what consciousness truly is. Like the
Yeah.
division between a conscious being or like a single celled non-conscious, but still,
Yeah.
alive.
right.
It would-
Doesn't have self-consciousness, but
Right.
maybe it's just
like a self-awareness.
Yes.
Yes. I feel like, that we're at the verge of figuring out what that is with the quantum computer. And then if we figure out what that is,
what
a whole new, like that just, I feel like it'll change everything. Like you figure out what consciousness is, you're able to like define that,
yeah.
the discoveries that will come after that
Oh yeah.
it would come so fast too.
Right. Yeah, because they're saying like as things progress, they like extrapolate,
Mhm.
right? They compound. And then once you get to the fringe,
Yes.
you go from 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8.
Yep.
Then you go from
It's Moore's law.
so you're getting to the point where, and this guy, his name's Terrence McKenna. I listen to a
Love
lot.
Terrence McKenna.
You like
Yeah,
Terrence
years
McKenna?
ago I used to listen to him.
He's-
Man, God,
he's great.
years ago.
Right.
Gosh, that's a throwback.
No one ever talked to him, listens to him. but he talks about it in the form of novelty.
Okay.
He calls it novelty, right? And that's like the nuance, and it compounds. And the further and further you get into history, the more novelty perpetuates
Yep.
itself. So that's like, we're like on the fringe of that.
Yeah.
It's like you go from like a broadleaf to like Cal, like
Yes.
that's, you got a lot of lineage at the edge of Cal where you don't on broadleaf. And that's like supposedly how things progress. But
I mean, it is. I feel like you're right when you explain it that way. I said Moore's law. Moore's law specifically is every 18 months or so, technology will double based on the silicon level or something about silicon in the microprocessor. We're able to put more information to the same amount of space. So Moore's law should be running to an end soon, and that's why we need quantum computing.
Moore's law is the observation that the number of transistors on a microchip doubles approximately every 2 years. This trend, first noted by Gordon Moore in 1965, has driven the exponential growth of computing power and efficiency while simultaneously leading to a decrease in the cost of computing. Right? Not strict scientific law, it has served as a guiding principle for the semiconductor industry for decades. So what limits that? You're just running out of space?
Yeah, actually, think of a microprocessor for your computer. They're pretty standard.
Yeah.
So the best microprocessor in the world, you're storing information in silicon, or silicate.
Yes.
Where the Moore's law is the transistors are getting so small, they can't get any smaller. Like our technology's got them so good, any smaller, they're unstable. Like you can't put them in the microchips anymore. So it's going to max out. And like he predicted that, and everyone's well aware of that. But that's why quantum computing is so important, because that's going to replace this.
So it'll allow.
It has to, because otherwise, if Moore's law becomes to fruition, not saying that it's like a true thing, but like if exactly what he said, when we cannot fit any more transistors, they're just too small. We can't make them smaller.
Yeah.
Technology will stop there.
That's
you
the
won't
processing speed.
Yeah, like
it can't get faster.
It faster, and you won't be able to make cheaper items. And so basically, your technology will be stagnant for a certain amount of time because you cannot physically make it better.
Yeah.
You could change things about it, but that's why quantum computing is important.
And when you're talking about things on the quantum scale, I knew someone, they were, I think he was a nuclear, he did something with nuclear power, and he did modeling for nuclear power. And he was saying when you start to look at stuff and you start to get into things that are like you're actually looking at atoms, everything, you have to be in like such a still, because even your heartbeat will cause it to shake so much you can't keep it in focus. Right. So it's like when you're able to control an environment to such a degree, well, then, like you said, we're going to really be able to start to see like what magic means, or like what we consider like high science and like magic. Because like, do you know anything about cold fusion?
Very little. I know what it is.
Right? Like it's like, and it happens in outer space, right? Because there's not a lot of material.
Right. There's
not a lot of molecules. So if things are very pure.
Is it essentially like how a sun's working?
I don't know. How does the sun work?
Like cold fusion. I think that's what I think how it works.
Okay.
But okay, yeah.
All right. I don't know. I might be wrong about how, but I've understood this to be the case. So like very pure elements in like a vacuum, meaning like nothing else is existing, right? Like in outer space, it's a vacuum. It's very clean. So when you have two of the same materials and you just touch them together, they become one material. They just meld together, like
in the vacuum of space.
In the vacuum of space.
That I didn't know.
So like as long as now the vacuum of space is not empty, right? There's still particles. There's still things. Now, those particles will create a barrier, so you're not getting like clean material to clean material. But in the infinite, vast, abundant space, there is. And when
happening.
Yeah, and things touch. And supposedly it was like a situation on one of the space stations or something like that, because they have everything obviously very clean. It goes out, and the hinges would, in a certain, like, I don't know what you call it, journey. The doors like locked or something. They couldn't move because of cold fusion, because the two materials are the same in the hinges, and there's nothing else, and then they just become one.
No kidding.
So supposedly that's what cold fusion is about, I think. Let's look.
Let's look it up.
Before I get too far off the deep end. Cold
You know what I'm thinking? You said
Fusion.
cold. I'm thinking of fission. Fission.
cold
But no, not cold fusion. No, just the word fission. Fission. That's how the sun works. Creates energy. Fission. Oh, yeah, cold fusion. Cold fusion. The web application.
almost.
Cold welding.
Cold welding in space. Oh, so let's. In the context of metals, cold fusion typically refers to cold welding. This is a solid state welding process where two pieces of metal are joined together at room temperature or without melting the material. Clean surfaces. Here's how it generally works with two metals. Clean surfaces. The metal surfaces to be joined must be meticulously cleaned, removing any oxidized layers, grease, or other contaminants. The cleaner the surface, the better the joint will be. Applied pressure, the two clean metal surfaces are then brought into close contact under immense pressure. Atomic bonding, the pressure reduces the distance between the atoms of the two metal surfaces. When the surfaces are close enough, the atoms form one surface and can jump to the other, creating a chemical bond. So
I think what you're talking about. Number 4 is what you were.
Solid state
Yeah,
diffusion.
number 4 is what you're referring to.
The process is also known as solid state diffusion, where atoms of the two metals intermingle and become joined together, forming a homogeneous mass.
That sounds like something that would happen in the vacuum of space.
Yes, cold welding in space. That is the thing. See, solid state.
Yeah.
You're right. That is number 4. Solid state welding process that occurs in a vacuum-like space when two clean flat metal surfaces come in contact, fuse together without the need for heat.
That's wild.
So, like, if you could create a room and you could suck all the air out of it,
Yeah.
you could just like touch things together and they would just.
But even if you suck the air out, there'd still be
Well,
contaminants, you think?
Yeah, no,
I mean, I'm sure. Well,
I'm simplifying the process.
no, we
extremely.
can't because like we have all those moon rocks here on Earth, and they have to keep them with this in the same environment as vacuum of space. Otherwise, everything on there dies.
Oh, really?
So we have that here. Like there's moon rocks. I know they're here that they're in. They got to keep them in a vacuum. Otherwise, whatever microbes are in there will die,
yeah,
or the chemical compounds will completely change.
yeah, they'll
if they're
start to
exposed.
adjust.
Yeah. But here we're talking about outer space.
Yeah.
I don't know who, like I just heard this. I don't know if it was I heard it on the news at first, but then it was like on the Science Channel and then on TikTok, and I think that verified it. There's been like a discovery, like, obviously you know what a black hole is.
Yes.
We don't know what's inside of a black hole and whatnot. There's not overwhelming evidence, but there's a lot of evidence
You
pointing.
ever put your finger in a black hole?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, we'll talk about
No,
that
I'm just
later.
kidding. No, there's evidence that we are we are the result of inside of a black hole.
Okay.
And if that's right, that would explain so much different, like a lot of stuff that we don't know about, like dark energy.
Right.
That would explain dark energy, that there isn't actually dark energy. That's because we're inside of a black hole.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why we can't see past a certain distance. So like I forgot what they call from the expansion.
Okay.
So there is evidence that we are like already like we through a black hole, and this is a universe that developed inside of a black hole. And the reason why that's important is because they're trying to figure out the Big Bang, the very first seconds of the Big Bang, and they could explain like a millisecond after the Big Bang.
Yeah.
But before that, they're like, we don't know, like that 1 millisecond. Well, that's the explanation. Like we're a universe formed in a black hole. And that
Okay.
would explain a lot. So if you survive going through another black hole, you'll be in a completely parallel universe. And then there's actual evidence for that.
The
That's pretty wild.
multiverse.
Yeah, there we go.
That is wild. Yeah. I mean, a lot of sci-fi things seem like prophecy.
Yep.
And less like, what a creative.
Sci-fi is prophecy.
I mean, did you try on the Apple Vision Pro?
No, I want to.
Did you try on the Oculus?
Yeah, I was playing with it last night, the Oculus.
Okay. I've never worn the Oculus, but the Apple Vision Pro, I'm going to say it. I've said it on here to somebody, I think. It's like, and maybe the Oculus is too. They're like, okay, you know, like you're on the home screen, right? And they're like, you're in your environment. And I'm like, oh, this is like the desktop. They're like, we call it a environment. All right, it's the environment because it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I'm on a cliff. That's what it looks. It's an environment. You know, they don't put you like outside. So then, you know, that you going through like the hand gestures and the sign language and everything. And then they're like, oh, now you're like at a birthday party. And you're like, it's like you feel like you're at the table. Like you see like you're at the table. Like my body is like, wow, I am there. Like it didn't feel like a fun game. It felt real.
Yeah.
And it's all visual, you know, a lot of how we perceive. And it was recording. They're like, you're watching a recording from the Vision Pro. And I was like, wow.
Now, this is the Apple Vision you're talking about?
Yes.
Is this, can you see your environment or is this like full virtual?
This was full virtual.
Okay.
So this was not AR.
Augmented. Okay. Yeah.
But they do, it is, you can't have AR.
Right.
So this is like a commercial for Apple. But so I was like really impressed at how good it was recording. I was like, so if I use this, I can record and someone else with this can see the same. And they're like, yes. I'm like, wow, that's really good. And then they're like, all right, now you're at like a private concert with Alicia Keys. And they like change it. And then I'm like, and there's like Alicia Keys and like my balls dropped. I swear to God, it was like, I felt my chemistry change because I was like starstruck. And I don't give a shit about Alicia Keys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
she's there.
She was there. Like I don't know her. I don't mean I don't give a shit about her. I don't know her.
She's great. I just don't give a shit about her.
Right.
You know?
Like, yeah, I don't know her.
Yeah.
But like she was there. And like my body chemistry. And I was like, whoa, like it doesn't, like I wanted to say it doesn't know the difference, but I'm it. Like my body doesn't know the difference. And I was like, wow. Like it just, I was like, I didn't buy it, but I was like, I need to buy this.
Where did you try it?
Apple.
Okay, I got to go try that. That sounds incredible.
It was so incredible. And then I was like, all right, that's like your eyesight. And then I went in like this rabbit hole of like haptic feedback. And I was like, what's like, they got haptic feedback gloves. How much do they cost? Like, how do they work? Where do you wear them? Like, because if you could simulate vision that well, the other areas you could cheat pretty sloppily and make it 100%.
You know what would
believable.
Be a game changer? Smell.
Oh yeah.
If all of a sudden the smell changed with the environment,
yes,
that would just lock me in wherever I'm at.
Well, like like talking about prophecy, I'm like my mind goes like, all right, so you get the gloves on, and now it feels all right. Then they have like a whole suit, and then you got that Disney thing where you're walking, right?
Ready Player One.
Yeah. So then I'm like, all right, that's like all here. Now, like the next thing is going to be like pressure gradients. And like, then you go into the matrix. You go into that egg and you're in like a jelly.
How do you know we're not there already?
I mean, I don't. That's when I was like, whoa, like it's so close abstractly in my mind, even though it could be tens of thousands of years. Who knows if we don't.
Did you ever see the movie Ready Player One?
I started to watch it.
I read the book, saw the movie. Like the book is awesome.
Yeah.
You're literally, that's what you're explaining. Like that you are explaining it to a T, exactly how it is. But the book is more dystopian.
Yeah.
Because of like it was, but
the movie was dystopian, right? Everything was like shipping containers. And
but like because the virtual world was better. But
that's
everything. There's the suit, the gloves, the smell, and the walking, everything. Like it's fully immersive. Those worlds, because that exists now. You could buy those. You could buy that platform you could walk on.
Yeah, which is like it's prophecy. Like the Matrix. That's right. The Matrix seems like prophecy.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. It comes out of nowhere. Obviously, it's probably coming from the future, but yeah,
right.
It's
pretty awesome. The question is like, how does that play a role in the future? Like, do you wake up and go, because like what it is, it's like, it's the imagination.
Yeah.
It's like the human zeitgeist. It's like the imagination of all people. And now you get to exist in your dream.
I feel like if it became affordable to the masses, a very good chance, like that Ready Player One prophecy might come. Like that's how it might be because, of course, like people look at people with their phones now.
Yeah.
Majority of people would rather be down on their phones. I'm like, we're guilty of it too. But like you're down on your phone, like you're just scrolling and looking, looking at your videos. Now imagine you could go home and just put your goggles on and you're in a paradise or you're a superhero or you're exactly what you want to be.
Right.
And it feels like you're there. So you're getting all the emotional rewards of it. Like that could easily go into that. Or my hope for it is that it makes it easier to be more connected to people that are far away from us.
Yep.
Whereas like if people who develop this stuff focus on that, like we have family in Italy, how easy would it be if I could just go in their living room and hang out with them like they're actually there and feel them, high five with them,
Right.
hug
Exactly.
my aunt, they haven't seen in 10 years that lives there. Like make it feel as close as possible to their, like that they're there.
Yeah. You spray a little Aqua di Gio.
Oh God. They have those boxes, those hologram boxes.
Yeah.
Have you seen those? Like
I saw something. Yeah.
like you're talking to the person in that box and it looks like they're there, like you want to touch them. That's how good the resolution is.
Yeah.
And they're looking at you the same way, but in a white box.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
It is. No, and the other thing too, it's like, and even though maybe we can't download ourselves into consciousness and we don't get to exist after we die in this world in some weird way, but it will be so tangibly believable, probably for our kids or our grandkids, to have us available to them by putting on, if we do enough recordings and you have enough documentation with ChatGPT to like be able to sit down and talk to you 100 years after you're gone.
Yeah.
Right? Like that. What is that? So
Now, what I would say is the big counter to that. Wouldn't that devalue life? I could just download my brain. I'm good. I could live as long as I want. So I don't need to, I don't have to enjoy this as much now because I know I'm going to be conscious for another eternity.
well, if that was the case, yeah. But if you're not, and it's just like, it's like,
Copy of you.
yeah, it's just like like the AI, like I watch like Terrence McKenna, or there's, you ever listen to Alan Watts? Do you
No.
ever listen to philosophy stuff? So, Bruce Lee, I was watching some old Bruce Lee interviews. They were freaking awesome. Have you ever watched them?
Oh, yeah.
Old Bruce Lee, old Muhammad Ali. And then like, once you watch a lot of them, you understand the cadence and like, and then there's like all these new ones all of a sudden. Cause like you say you were watching Terrence McKenna a long time ago. Now there's like, not so much with Terrence McKenna, but Alan Watts. There's like new talks, new recordings.
Okay.
And then you listen to them and it's AI. You could tell in the cadence, there's not that influx. It's too stable, but it's believable. Like if I showed my father, he wouldn't know. He'd be like, how would you'd have to. So like, and I don't care. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I still like the message. It's still in line with what I'm used to hearing. I know it's AI. It's different. It feels a little weird because I know it's not that, but I don't care. And that's like the part that I think is like, would you care? Like,
Well, we're talking about consciousness then, right?
maybe.
So consciousness is basically what makes us alive, like what makes us us.
Yes.
So you put consciousness into a computer. What does that make consciousness then? Like, does it, one, are you copying it? Like, so what if I'm still alive? And are you copying it? So what is that in the computer? Does that computer now have like some rights? Like, is that an actual, should I treat it with some empathy because it's a person, or do I treat it like I treat GPT,
Right.
That's the other thing.
Yeah. Right.
Like what, just say you were able to download your grandfather's consciousness and visit him, 10 years after he died, you could go put the things on. And it feels like that's your grandfather, but now the company's like, oh, we got to delete the file. Like, no, that's it. Like you can't take him away. Like that's my grandfather. Like he's a person. Like he's conscious. Like I made new memories with him. Yeah. Where does that line draw? That's where it kind of starts scaring me.
Yeah, no, that's true. I don't know, but it's so blurred already.
Yep, it's very blurred. Like I feel like we're probably 1 foot across that line. We don't even know it.
We have no idea what we're doing or where we're going, and I don't think we ever have.
No.
We never have. And we've always been on the cusp. And I think like in the 90s, we were fed, this is the way the world is.
Yep.
And when you're young, history didn't really exist. The future is like, it's so far away.
Yep.
The concrete's the same since the 80s.
Yep.
So it's like you kind of feel distilled. But I think the reality of it is it's always in like this realm of unknown, kind of mystical,
Yep.
magical, on the brink of disaster, on the brink of tragedy. And that's part of what makes it like so beautiful. I think realizing that older in age, in our generation and in our spheres, can be really shocking for some people. And I think it's the reason there's a lot of mental health, because you're like shocked with like the reality of how adverse the world really is. And you were kind of taught you were a superhero and, you know, you could live on Lucky Charms.
Yep.
And that's probably good that we know that's not true anymore. Now, we don't all get to live the same kind of like, maybe I want to say it's a false utopia, because I really believe like I believe utopia is just
Nonsense.
well, no, I believe it's not. I believe it is what it is. Like
Utopia to me is like happiness without purpose, and I don't see like you're able to be happy and do what you want, but without purpose. That's to me what a utopia is. I need some purpose. Like I need a purpose. Like I need to be here. I need to be your jeweler. I need to make...
You defined that really well and really quick. Yeah. No, I think the idea that the idea that it's wrong to feel that things are perfect is a bad idea, because I think it's okay to feel that things are perfect, because sometimes they're not, sometimes they are. You know what I mean?
It's been more like accepting.
Yeah.
Acceptance, yeah.
That's a good way to put it. So, but yeah, I wonder about, the future. Like, what does that mean? Like I had my father on here, and I was like telling Maria, I was like, I think it's really good, because like, when am I like, if I ever want to, like, when do I ever get to have like real conversations with my dad?
Mm-hmm.
And then when do I get to record them? And then like, I'm looking at my phone today, me, my daughter, my son, we're just watching videos of them growing up.
Yep.
Because the phone made it.
Yep.
And I don't have that of my dad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, the only way I'll have it is if I start taking pictures of him everywhere we're at, because we're not gonna be around forever.
That's right.
And I think that even if it's not necessarily consciousness, but a really good algorithm,
Yeah.
I think
A nice.
it's a
Yeah, it's like more of having the real thing, and instead of having the real thing, you have like a reference to it, something to go back to.
yeah,
But not like fully. You have, something to help you move on too. Like
yeah.
that could be it.
Like, we don't have to touch. Like in our day and age and in the past, you have to deal with things. They happen and you have to deal with them. And a lot of people have a hard time, and that like really shuts down their life or themselves or their growths for certain amounts of time. But now we can just like dive into a fake reality where that didn't happen.
Yep.
That's like, what the hell does that mean? What does that mean? I don't know. I don't know what it means.
What a world, man.
I know. It's like all the fantasies that we had seem like very real potentialities.
Yep.
Let me ask you this. What do you think keeps mankind from going back into like lapsing and destroying it all? Do you have any takes on that?
I'm sure I do. Yeah. What keeps mankind? I think we are genuinely good, and we do want to look out for each other, and we do want. I feel like the majority of people want the best for everybody, not just for themselves. But we're taught to look out for ourselves. So the idea of, sacrificing something for you for the good of something else, that's that's just not a value that's taught, and that's like, I feel like we might be moving in that direction, even though the world is crazy right now. Still, things are better than they've ever been. I mean, It's really getting better. Everything is getting better. Eventually, this craziness will pass over. I mean, look at all the people fighting. How old are they? They're all old. They're our parents' age and older. Those are like for the whole world. I'm talking the whole world. All these wars. These are old zealots that are fighting. They're going to die off in 20 years, and we're going to have a completely different world dynamic.
Yeah, that's true. I was thinking about that with like racism and things like that. Like racism was over. I don't remember there. It doesn't mean oppression was over. Okay, I'm not saying that.
No, right. It was, yeah, we're telling you not to be racist anymore, and it is still the thing, but just because we stopped telling you not to be racist doesn't mean it's like, oh, it all comes out all of a sudden. That's what I feel like is happening.
Right.
Like, they were telling me to stop doing this, or they're pushing this agenda on me for so long. Well, maybe it's for, some agendas are not bad.
Right. Yeah. Some
agendas are meant to be to help you.
Right. Yeah. Like over time, I think it's just like you say, it's inevitable.
Yeah.
Because like kids grow up, they see injustices that they don't believe in the core of who they are.
Yeah.
And they know that they just can't treat somebody different based on any vector or any circumstance.
Yep.
And it'll just be a matter of generations before.
Yeah, like I feel like we're millennials.
Yeah.
And I feel like our generation is like one of the first generations to like look at our parents and say, we don't need to be our parents or like our parents' generation. Like we grew up saying like, no matter what problems there was, you had to respect the elders. You had to go, even if they did something bad, you deal with it, you move on, keep the family together. I feel like our generation's like, well, if it's not working, I'm gonna make it work for me. Like I'm gonna make it work for my kids. And I feel like that's gonna start helping.
Yeah. Why do you think that'll help?
I don't know. I just hope it, because we're not gonna be tied to our parents' ideologies.
Yeah.
They're not gonna be forced as much onto us.
Yeah, I think that's true too. And with the amount of information that we have at our fingertips.
Yep.
I mean, and in kids, like they're going to be so smart.
Yep.
I mean, compared to us.
Yep.
And like just their ability. It's almost like the Great Depression happened, right? And I don't remember. I don't know exactly why, but I know the stock market crashed, whatever. There's no money, right, to go around. Now, that's like a very psychologically constructed society.
Yep.
Because there's still nails, there's still gas, there's still everything, but there's no money, which is an abstract concept. And it's actually debt. There's no debt to pass around, which is like really weird. So it's almost like you have the economy crashing, but it's like a schizophrenia that prevents society from just waking up, going to work, driving the buses, producing the food. Well, they say, who's going to pay for it? Well, no one was paying for it in the first place. It's just a means of like barter. It's a means of translation. So like my wonder is like into the future with like Bitcoin and digital currency and all these things. I don't know if it'll like disappear, but I've been thinking a lot about it. It's like it'll be more like there'll be like 5 or 6 different versions of currency, and one of them will always be collapsing. But because you'll have the other 5 or the other 6 or 7 that are strong, you will never have like a whole collapse where then we have to pull ourselves up as like a society.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
And it seems like, well, people are like, oh, that doesn't work or that doesn't work. And it's same thing with like the grid. It's like, yeah, the grid's good. Oh, solar's better. Well, if we don't do LEDs, the grid can't handle the electrical usage, so things have to be more efficient. Well, when you get solar and you get wind, you don't get rid of the grid.
Yeah.
You got to keep it. And then that's like, it dawned on me like the relic, like the idea of the relic. It's not like I was on my wife. I was hating on the mailman. I'm like, look at that dinosaur. What is he doing? Who deals with paper? But it's like, he's the relic. Like he's necessary, because if there's an EMP or the magnetic poles shift or some crazy shit happens that really we don't understand, we can still get our mail. You can still pay your taxes and with paper. You could, it still allows society to maintain because you have that root structure. You can't abandon that.
You ever seen the movie The Postman?
No.
That's the movie.
Is it?
Post-apocalyptic. Kevin Costner is the postman. He's the only one, because keeping the postal service going is keeping America going still during this yeah, exactly what you just said. Classic, awesome, one of his best movies. But it's exactly that situation, how you just described, like how the postman, what that is, that relic, how important that movie, like you just described that movie. Like how profound, like that, what you just said is, because that's very true.
Okay, so the movies
I
are
would
prophecy.
definitely, I would really tell you to watch it, because the way you described it, like how, like that's the movies, that's what it's based on. Like that's just, it's really good, and the way you described it was really good.
Thanks.
So
I got to check it out.
very profound.
Thank you. But yeah, I think the infrastructure.
Yeah,
that we got to have multiple layers of infrastructure across all boards. It's like investing. You got to invest in all sectors. So that, and now if you look at an economy, if there are sectors, they all have to be very granular, because like, it's not going to be a matter of like if or when. It'll just be common that something will always be like, like when it snowed in Texas.
Yep.
Fuck.
Yeah, crazy. That was bad. Well, a amount of people lost electricity and died.
And that was like the end of the world.
Yep.
But it was just for Texas.
Yep.
It wasn't the end of the world for anybody else.
No.
So it's like, if that sort of thing happens, obviously we need to have the wherewithal and the military to go and save Texas. I don't know what the hell that was about. Why we didn't have our right? Why the military didn't go?
No clue. Well, it was statewide, so where are they going to go?
Well, like, I don't know. Can't they send military from other states though? I mean,
I have no clue.
I don't know how that works.
That was a mess. I feel bad for a lot of people.
Yeah, that was a little strange.
But yeah, infrastructure, I mean, that's probably the most important thing. Like, but how do we do it? What do we do? We don't even know what to do. And when we figure it out, we don't even agree on it.
Yeah.
And I feel like right now we live in a world, especially right now, crazy it is, like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, even though we desperately need it.
Yeah. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And infrastructure, like, how often do we get major infrastructure upgrades in the U.S.? Like, we're a country that does it based on last minute necessity. Like, that's like, our highway system is awesome, but the only reason we built it was World War II. That's why we have an awesome highway system. What is it going to take for us to get something better, or a better electrical system? It's going to take a solar flare and knock out everything, and then, okay, now we'll fix it.
Yeah, right. It takes
something to get you. They need kicked in the butt.
What is it? Necessity is like the father of ingenuity, or the mother, or something.
Of procrastination. I don't remember. I know what you're saying. I got the quote.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, we won't do it until we absolutely have to, right? You don't do it until they put the torch to your keister or something. Put your
torch to the ass. That's what I was trying to think of.
They don't put your ass to the flames. But yeah, well, I guess, how do you motivate then?
Well, if I knew that, I'd be president.
You could be president, couldn't you?
Yeah.
I think so.
I would point out different places that utilize different infrastructure upgrades and say, like, this worked, Like, I feel like the biggest infrastructure upgrade we need is more public transportation. I want to drive my car way less. Like, I wish that was just more of an option. And that's a relic. Our train system's a relic in the United States. You go to Europe, that's like, you don't even want to drive. That's how nice the trains are. You come here, like, you want to travel around the States, Amtrak costs more than an airplane.
Yeah.
And then if you want to go take a train downtown, it's not easy for us because we live close to the train station.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they have to drive in 20 minutes to get to the train station. Now we're downtown.
Yeah.
And those tracks were 110 years old.
Right. They're screaming.
Yeah.
Their sparks are flying.
Oh my gosh.
It's weird, right? Because it is such like a nuts and bolts.
Mm-hmm.
But then you got like Six Flags 20 minutes away. Why can't they put like a shockwave downtown that takes you from State Street to Balbo or something? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or whatever it is.
It's crazy. Like, there's not something like that. Like, I feel like You got crazy guys like Elon Musk that's trying to do those Hyperloop tunnels in LA. That's a good idea, even though he's a crazy guy. That's
Yeah.
an awesome idea. Like build underground,
Right.
you know, if you can.
Yeah, that is a great idea. Maybe we could do something like that in Chicago.
Well, there's too much underground. There's plenty underground. They can actually, there's so much unused underground tunnels in Chicago that they can do that. Yes.
Just vacant.
Yeah. I watched a lot of those people that go around Chicago. They break into like vacant buildings, and a lot of times they just go under sewers and they go in these tunnels. There's hundreds of miles of tunnels downtown. It's crazy. Look, and it's scary, but it's cool.
Chicago's like built on stilts.
Is it really?
Yeah, because you got Lower Wacker, which is water, which is water level.
Oh yeah. I'm thinking like Venice stilts, but yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's an underground under the entire city.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why you can't park there anymore after 9/11. There used to be a ton of parking down there.
Wait, down where?
In like Lower Wacker.
Oh yes.
Yeah. And now.
No, only if you work there, right?
Yeah. Not because he might try to blow up all the supports or something.
Yeah. No, you know what? I never even thought about that. Yeah. They did that in the Batman movie, so it must work in real life.
Did they?
When they were zooming through, they were rocket launching the pillars so the street would fall down on him.
Oh, no kidding.
But he's Batman. He got through it.
He made it.
He made it.
You know what he was doing? Well, yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, I guess we'll see kind of where things go.
Yeah.
What where's your store at? Is it downtown?
Elmwood Park.
Oh, Elmwood Park.
Elmwood Park. My workshop is downtown.
Okay.
Where I do the actual work. The rings are made in Chicago.
Okay.
So that's in the Jewelers Building. Have you ever been in the city?
Mm-hmm.
Big Jewelers Building, all jewelry stores and jewelry shops.
That's
5 South Wabash.
Is the Holiday in there?
No, Palmer House, Hilton.
Okay.
Yeah, right across the street.
Okay.
Jewelers Row.
Jewelers Row. I went to school down there. I know it was around there, but I was out in Wabash. It's right by the river, no?
Just south of it.
Just
About
south.
4 blocks south.
Okay.
5 blocks south.
So you make things there?
Yep, it's all made there.
But you don't sell anything there.
No, it's not a showroom.
It's just
it's a workshop.
manufacturing.
Sometimes customers come meet me there to pick up something. Like if they live in the city, it's convenient for them to go there,
Okay.
pick something up.
What about a shop in the Loop? That doesn't. Is there too much?
There's a lot of shops in the Loop. I don't want to.
You don't want to be down there.
But there's so many. Like those guys, and that's all legacy places. Like
Okay.
I don't even want to mess with that. Like
Yeah.
yeah, and then the people that do, there's come and goes. But renting one of those little spots probably costs more than renting my whole building.
No shit. Yeah.
Yeah,
Forget
they're
that.
expensive.
So you got a shop downtown. You travel downtown every day?
No, not every day. I don't go. I probably go twice a week now.
Okay.
That's it. I got to be more at the showroom.
Yeah.
I'm more managerial now. I got employees over there that do some work for me. I could delegate some stuff.
That's nice. You got this.
And I got that.
It's your cheapest employee yet.
Yeah, so far.
Right?
So far, and he's helping. I got to name him.
Yeah. You got to give him a jewel. You got to bedazzle him, right? You got to get him like a ring or like a suit, like a gold chain or something.
Yeah, but then it's going to be noticed. I don't want people to like be staring at that when I'm like. By the way, my bedazzled little device is recording you.
Yeah, it's flash. Yeah, that's got an excellent rating. You could tell because it's reflecting all the light in the room.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Bedazzle it up. Well, how we doing here? See where we're at. Oh, I got a couple more questions for you.
Okay, let's go.
So you've been a jeweler since 2010? That's when you're
Essentially, that's
gemologist.
when it was since I was gemologist. Yes,
Okay.
I've been doing jewelry work since I was a little kid, though.
So what do you do to stay in shape? How are you keeping it together?
I work out and play soccer,
You do?
and my wife cooks really good.
How often do you working out? What are you doing?
3 days a week max. So usually like 2 days a week, depending on how much time I have.
You doing any saunas? Anything?
Sauna's the best part of my workout. My favorite part. I work out just so I could go into sauna. I love
Right.
it.
How long you spend in the sauna?
10 minutes if I could last that long.
That's it?
Yeah, I'm not that strong.
I don't know if it takes strength. Maybe it just takes
Yeah, endurance probably.
maybe it's a little bit of that stupidity
Okay.
because you got to stay in there. Some people stay. I try to stay in there till it fucking hurts.
Yeah.
Till I'm like, I stand up and I say fuck, and I sit back down.
I wear this Whoop device and it warms me. My heart rate's too high, and that's when I get out.
Okay.
Yeah. Or my phone starts to overheat.
Oh yeah,
That's like about 10 minutes in. But usually this thing starts to alert me on my phone
yeah.
that my heart rate is like elevated for too long. And it's because I'm in a sauna for too long.
Yeah, and that's no good.
Yeah. I just get scared and go out.
They done.
Yeah.
You ever see how long you could stay in there?
I could probably do 20 minutes if I really wanted to.
What about 40?
No, not a chance.
Not a chance.
No.
What do you think will happen?
My skin will come off.
Just feel
Like I feel like it would be one of those Russian competitions that they do those sauna. Like they'll stay longest in a sauna. And I seen a guy who was in there for an hour and he was just melting. It was disgusting.
It's gone.
How long? You've been in for 40 minutes.
I'll go in for 40 minutes.
Good for you, man.
I like to move past myself when I get the opportunity,
Yeah.
if I can. I don't know how or when, but sometimes it's easy to do. Like it's hard to do with exercise, but sometimes it's easy to do with things like soccer, or something like that. Like imagine like trying to play like 4 games in a row and like really just keep going and going. Like
That's what you used to do.
that's what I like. That's like, because that's what I want. I like opportunities to do that sort of thing. I don't get them. I'm getting older.
Mm-hmm.
So I want them because otherwise I'm going to break down. Like I feel like those help heal, I think. I don't know why.
Those pushing.
I think so. I don't know.
Me, I'm more timid. I used to like to push myself, but then I had my shoulder injury and I had 4 surgeries from it. And every time I injured it, it would damper my lifestyle or, just being at home, being a husband or a dad, it would damper that. So I'm way more cautious now because
Yeah.
I don't want to go through that again.
Yeah, you don't want to go through the injury.
Like one surgery, that's 6 months to a year recovery. That's a year out of my life.
What happened? What were you doing?
Snowboarding on my bachelor party.
You could snowboard?
I'm a really good snowboarder. I used
Are
to be a really good snowboarder. My cockiness is what got me.
What happened?
It was day one.
Yeah.
We were in Breckenridge. And Breckenridge, I didn't know, closes at 4:00 in the afternoon. Like the mountains shut down. I did not know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I've been there.
and I was like annoyed. I'm like, no, I'm not done. I'm like, I'm here for 5 days, and I'm snowboarding all 5 days. So we go. I find someone. I say, is there an open mountain? I'm like, yeah. They're like Keystone. It's 11 miles away. They're open till 8. All right, let's go. So we go there. Sun goes down, and this is why they close at 4:00. Because once the sun goes down, everything freezes over, and then they maintain it.
Okay.
So those places that the cheaper mountains, they don't maintain it as much. So they'll open later. So it was fine going down, but it was great. Nobody was there. I'm by myself. Let's go to the terrain park, do some jumps. And so because that's what I like to do.
yeah.
My very first jump, it was the ramp was completely ice. It was a sheet of ice going straight up. My board went faster than me,
Yeah.
but I went pretty far. Like I went far and I landed directly on the shoulder, broke the bone, the ball joint and everything. It was
Oh, shit.
painful. So I'd get surgery after surgery.
Did they come and pick you up with the?
The stretcher and they slid me down and that hurt so bad, man. That hurt so bad. Because it was less than halfway down because the
Okay.
terrain park was up
Yeah.
almost at the top, and it was really cold up there. So I tried walking in my
Yeah.
arm, like it was so much pain. So the guy came with a stretcher
Yeah.
and he slid me down, and I'm just like screaming because it hurt so bad.
Yeah.
It was funny. But it's just like because the stopping of my life that created is why I'm not as keen on pushing myself as hard. So I probably could go
Yeah.
harder in certain things, but I'm definitely more timid on stuff like that.
Yeah. I think it's hard to find the right space because so many times if you do push yourself, it can be dangerous. Like I've done it and like I tore my meniscus. I did do some damage to myself and I was like, why did I do that?
Mm-hmm.
But like some days, sometimes like you get the right warm up, you don't push it and you kind of find like a rhythm and you don't gas yourself out and just really taking that as long as you can. I'd like to do more of. I've had a couple of opportunities, but I want more.
Like what?
One was a skate competition last year that I got in that I was always wanted to be in.
Really? I didn't know you skated. I know. I feel like I didn't know you did that.
So I was in, and it's a non-sanctioned street competition.
Oh,
So it was like
non-sanctioned is the key word.
non-sanctioned. Well, it was sanctioned by the event, but
Not by the street.
not by the street.
yeah.
Yes, yeah. So that's what made it, and it was like just at one point, one of the spots, it wasn't like an obvious. Here's the spot. Here's the stairs. Here's the rail. Here's the or whatever. It was like you could kind of skate it from every angle. So at one point, there was just nonstop people skating this one specific like stair set because it had the ability to get hit from every angle, from every single angle, just flying around each other. And like, it's a street competition. So kind of like if you fall, you're going to fuck your shit up. I mean, you're going to hurt yourself.
Yep.
You have that possibility. So by the time you get to like the last spots, it's not necessarily who's the best. It's like
Who survived?
who didn't eat shit and who's not gassed, right? So like we went and I just didn't have it in me to stop. I mean, my daughter was born not that long. You know, I had a lot of fire in me. So I just kept going and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. And then I mean, I was one of the last people standing. And then eventually they called it, you know, so we're going to stop. But we were going.
It's that bad. They call it before it finishes.
Well, yeah, it was done. It was like, there was no one left to skate.
There's bodies everywhere.
There was like, well, they just gas out. Yeah, you get tired, you know, you do what you could do. And so that I was like, that night I realized I was like, oh, wow. Like I sat down for a little bit and my legs started to lock, like my muscles, everything started to lock because I really pushed myself.
Mm-hmm.
So like I had like tons of fruit with me, tons of stuff. So I just kind of like walked it off, had a lot of like electrolytes. I had a little like chocolate, just some sugar.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I need. I don't know how my body, I mean, it was like 7 hours straight, right? It was a lot. And I got home and I just felt amazing. And my knee, the problems I was having with my knee, like it would get like stuck at certain points. It would like, I would hit it, but it would move past where it used to get stuck. And it was like, I was like, and I don't know. And I was telling my aunt and she's like, yeah, sometimes the only way to make things heal is to like, just like really
Push through it.
Yeah. Push through.
It's awesome.
So then after that, I'm like, more chances. And it's easier to do with people, right? Like it sucks. Like if you're working out by yourself, like and it's like you got two more. If someone's there and they're helping
you to do it.
Yeah. And they're
Otherwise, like on my own, I'd be like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's get the sauna in.
Yeah.
Ready
let's
for
go.
the sauna.
Uh-huh.
But
I'm definitely guilty of that. So
you eat healthy. You work out 3 days a week.
2 to 3 days.
2 to 3 days. You play soccer. You do anything funky that maybe is unorthodox?
I take a testosterone shot.
Oh, you do?
Mm-hmm. But I had low testosterone because I've been my shoulder surgeries really changed everything. It made like my immune system sucks now because of it.
Yeah.
My testosterone was like 180.
Okay.
Because I was
What's it supposed to be? I have no idea.
as
I know
long
it's
as you're
a
over
thing.
500 or over 400, you're
Okay.
good because then it doesn't matter.
Okay.
But I'm like 120, and they're like, "Oh, you better fix that."
No kidding.
So now I started doing it, and I love it.
So it's like a therapy, right?
Yeah,
It's
I
like
go to a clinic and get it done.
Cool. Then what do you notice? How does it help? I mean, you say
Yeah. Okay, so it's not that it healed my shoulder, but like I feel like you feel when you start working out, you feel like a superhero. Like it feels like you take a pre-workout and you feel that intense pump and you're able to feel like you do more.
okay.
It's that, but without that intense jittery pump. It's just like all of a sudden you're stronger and you could last longer at the gym. Not an insane amount, but you could definitely feel it. And I think the biggest is like it just makes effort feeling good. Whereas before that effort sucks.
Yeah.
Whereas now I kind of desire it.
Oh,
Like that was the big change for me.
That's like a thing. I know I've heard people that they do the therapy, and I've never thought about getting tested.
Yeah.
But
Get tested. If you don't need it, don't do it. But if you need it, get it done. And no shame in it either. I hear my telling you. So
Yeah, no, I mean, if it helps you feel good, and that's the most important thing. What, so you work for yourself, right?
it's my dad's store, actually.
Well, you're self-employed,
Yeah.
in my opinion. So how do you handle that demand with family demand? How does that?
It's harder because I'm not a regular employee, so I'm much more in demand. Like work is way more demanding for me on every level.
Yeah.
It is hard, but I do have boundaries, and I mean more. I won't work more than 5 days a week, and that sounds like a lot, but I used to work 6 days a week for over 12 years, so
Yeah.
nonstop.
That sounds like a fair boundary.
Yeah,
You want to have weekends
I mean,
with
I
your
would-
family?
yeah, essentially.
What a boundary. Yeah.
We start a couple years ago. We started closing Mondays so we could have that extra time, the
That's
work-life balance. So
Yeah.
it's important to me. Like if I don't have time, with my kids, like right now they're gone and it's killing me because they're in California right now.
Yeah.
So I don't get to see them
Right. Yeah. When are they coming back?
Saturday.
What are you going to do for the rest of your time?
Tomorrow I'm going to see Brand New in concert. There's that, and then I don't have plans after that. I don't know.
I know, right?
I'll
What
let-
else is there to do?
I know. My biggest thing is finding something to eat because I come home, food's ready and stuff. Now I got to feed myself.
Yeah.
And that's her biggest thing. She calls me, "Did you eat today? What did you eat?" Okay, there's food in the fridge. You just put it in the microwave. And that's all right. Thanks, babe.
Some pasta forno waiting for you.
Oh, I wish.
Where you working out? Locally?
Yeah, Vasa.
Where's Vasa?
Vasa's in Bloomingdale.
Okay.
So it's on Army Trail Road. It's the old, it's right next to Target.
Okay. You ever do like any hot yoga, anything like that?
I've never done that.
That's good.
No, I want to try that though.
You ever done any extreme things like fasting or any of these?
Fasting.
Trends?
Oh, you know what? Years ago, I did that lemonade diet. Remember that?
Oh yeah,
You drink lemonade for a week.
with the
And
cayenne pepper. Yeah,
and maple syrup. I did that for a whole week, and
you did it for a whole week.
yeah, and zero benefit. If anything, I gained weight because I was so hungry afterwards. Like I didn't lose any weight during that time. I was just hungry and miserable, angry for a week, like mad because I was so hungry.
Well, you're not getting your pasta.
And then I ate after the week, and
Yeah.
then I bloated.
Yeah.
So I don't recommend that to anybody.
Yeah, I wonder about that. That was a fad. That was a thing.
It was
right?
a fad.
You ever seen The Office when there's you watch The Office
Yes,
ever?
love
And
that.
Kelly's like pretending she's like all emaciated with like dark circles under her eyes. She's like, leave me alone. She's like making that drink. She's like, I'm gonna look so good in my bathing suit or whatever she says.
Yeah.
That's true. There's a bunch of goofy stuff. No, but I haven't been to the gym in a while. They got a sauna over there?
Oh yeah, sauna steam room.
Maybe we gotta go. Maybe we gotta go this week before family comes back. When do they come back? Saturday?
There.
All right.
Be there on Friday because I can't go tomorrow.
Friday morning?
No, I can't go in the mornings.
When
I'm
do you-
not a morning person. I go right after work. I come home, I'll change, and I'll go there.
What time do you normally try to?
I'm usually there by 6 or 7.
Okay. I'm up. I'm awake.
You're awake?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm like an old grandma.
I wish I was, man. Sometimes I have my times I could wake up early, but most of the time, no. And I'm
Where-
certainly not going to the gym.
Not in the morning. Where are you playing soccer?
So our normal spot for the last 8 years just closed down. It was Grasshopper Field in I don't know, it was off Banheim Road. Anyway, it was indoor. It closed down. Now we're playing at Chicago Soccer Fields in Melrose Park.
Oh, yeah. I know that.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, that place has been there forever.
Yeah. I was there a few times. I was playing with these Nigerian kids out of Pilsen. Somehow. I don't know. Is it Italian guys mostly? Or is
Yeah,
it,
it started out, it was like our group for the past 10 years.
Yeah.
And then it expanded. So it's our Italian group and then the Spanish guys.
okay.
My jeweler even plays with us. It just
Yeah.
expanded. Yeah. So it's every Tuesday.
Oh, cool. That's good. That'll keep you young-ish.
It's a lot more fun than working out.
Dude, right?
Yeah.
Working out kind of sucks.
It does.
It's nice to find something that's like enjoyable.
Yeah. But you're really good at soccer, though. Yeah, not like me.
I'm good at running. I like to run.
No, you're good at soccer. I played with you many times.
Thank you. You're good too.
Yeah, no.
Well, maybe we can play again. We should do something. We should go hit up the gym or go soccer, do something.
Come to Vasa with me then.
Yeah, maybe I will. I don't know if I can do it this week necessarily.
Oh, I ain't going anywhere, so.
Yeah.
You could come on our Tuesday night soccer. You'll like playing. It's because it's not intense. It's all guys like us.
No one's gonna stab me.
No.
No one's gonna punch me in the face.
Well, you're not gonna get slide tackled. You're not gonna get pushed. You're not gonna get knocked down because they're all our age. A couple of young guys that love to do their tricks.
Yeah.
But other than that,
That's what I liked last time I was there with those guys. It was like there's some a little sketchy, and they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Are you okay?"
Yeah.
They're like, "Make sure you're all right." You go and play some of these leagues. Like,
all right, it doesn't exist that anymore, but the place here in Addison, the Dome, whatever it was called, the indoor place.
where?
Well, it's gone now. The haunted house there. I forgot what it's called. In Addison, it's on Villa Avenue. It's been there forever. The Dome.
Odeum.
Odeum.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was the Odeum.
Yeah, the Odeum.
That place, I played there for many, many years. Every single game I've ever played, we got in a fight.
Yeah.
And if I wasn't playing, if I was in the bleachers, I still got in a fight there. And even if I didn't want to get into a fight, someone would hit me in the back of the head and the fight would start. Like that place was just guaranteed to get into a fight. Like at one time I was sitting upstairs trying to stay away from everybody by myself on the railing. Some fat guy comes behind me, saw that I was talking shit to his brother. I'm like, I don't even know. I'm by myself. He just started fighting me and we got into a fight up on there.
Yeah.
I'm glad that place is gone now, but I mean, I'm not glad. Good memories.
No, I'm glad.
Yeah,
You
the
could say-
Odeum. My
yeah.
gosh, I couldn't remember the name of it.
It's like playing on concrete.
It was a very thin rug over the concrete.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were getting hurt or getting in a fight.
Yeah. That way back in the day too. They used to have different events there.
Oh yeah, many concerts I've been there, and the haunted house.
The haunted house was a notorious thing.
Yeah, that was the big one.
Fast and Furious days.
Oh, I never did that.
They had car shows in there.
I remember I went to a drifting event there.
Okay.
Yeah, they had a drift with the cones and everything.
Outside?
Yeah, I did that there.
When I first started skating, there were some competitions like ASA. They would like come in and they would set up. It was like before I was doing that stuff, but it was a happening place.
That place was that was the place.
And now it's like a
I don't know, someone bought it out.
truck stop or something.
Well, yeah, before they sold, they rented the parking lot out for truck storage, and then they're like, okay, we're done.
Yeah.
This place Grasshopper that we played at, this was a nice place, like really nice, really clean turf fields. So you were turf shoes, so just the perfect amount of like softness. There was 4 fields, 2 small, 2 big. Like that place was great. I'm really sad that it went under.
I wonder why.
I just didn't want to do it anymore, maybe, or someone else bought it. Someone bought the building.
Okay,
That's probably why. Because they were doing fine. That place was always rented out.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to get together. We got to do it. I'm going to try to come on Tuesday if we can't do like a workout at least once.
Text me.
Yeah, I'll text you. Well, how you feel?
Great. It was a good time.
All right. How about we wrap it up? Maybe we'll do it again sometime?
Anytime. I'm always available. I love doing these.
Thank you. Good to have you on, Vince. See
Thanks,
you again.
man.
Thank you everyone for watching. See you soon.